What do we have here? A frail little thing to satiate my appetite. Lovely. Oh, be still, morsel. There's no escaping this cave. Believe me, I've tried for years. Such a shame. You would have made a fine plaything.
Hey, hands off my prey, you filthy serpent.
Well. The house pest. Been a while, hasn't it?
Not long enough, you snake.
More than a snake, Krurus. Now be gone. I'm absolutely starving and this one's mine.
I don't think so, Ven. You see, they're trapped in my web, not yours. The second they made their way down here, they were mine.
Really? A measly little web didn't do anything but secure my meal. Besides, I could smell them before they'd even been caught in your pathetic little trap.
Then it would appear that the two of us are in an impasse. Oh, whatever shall we do? Well, we could try killing each other again.
We could try to, yes. But we both know that we're evenly matched. The last 100 skirmishes have only resulted in furthering our hunger.
What? Scared of losing again?
As if I'd lose to you. Enough with this feckless squabbling. Why don't we share?
Like I'd share with you again.
Come now, Krurus. Neither of us have eaten anything more than a few lost adventurers and common game in days. I can see you salivating over our precious little morsel here.
Fine. Same way as last time.
Last time? When was it? Who was it? Ah, yes. The hunter. Fat and plump. Succulent flesh. We'll tear this one in twain. Wouldn't want a repeat of last time.
Agreed. Well, I can't eat first, or there'll be nothing left. Reduced to a slurry by my venom. And you? Leave the meat ruined with yours. And your insatiable appetite.
Oh, creatures of greed we've become. Loath as I am to share this meal, I suppose I will have to make do with what scant options we have.
So, are we in agreement? I take the upper half and you take the lower.
The heart is mine.
You had it last time.
I believe your time down here in the shadow has dulled your mind. I clearly remember you having the heart, our last shared meal.
You know what? I have an idea. How about I just split them in two? You know, top to bottom. That way we get a share of everything. And we can pluck out the heart later. And have it all at the same time.
Only if I get to do the cutting of that still-beating treat. Deal?
Fine. Deal. Let's just get this over with. Their scent is far too tempting for me to wait any longer.
Go then. Get on with it.
Hey, I don't take orders from you, you skilled worm. Now, where was I? Ah, yes. You. No need to struggle. It'll be all over soon. Huh? Now, why would I do that? Typical of a human not to listen to anything but themselves.
Typical.
You have something for us. What could you possibly have that that we would want? Oh, your foodstuffs. As if a mere ration could satiate the likes of me.
Us.
I don't know, Ben. I think that you can manage with whatever's in their pack. And I'll take the rest.
We had a deal, Cruz. But I am curious as to what was in their pack. What lies in store for us here. Well, how interesting.
What is it?
Good rations. Meat. Succulent meat ruined by smoke and salt. But perhaps it shall suffice. And this strange skin surrounding hard grain.
A hunter?
Perhaps not. Many things lie within this pack. Tools of the trade. For an adventurer, perhaps. Such foreign tools.
All the more reason not to trust them. Speak your last words, filth. You believe that you can escape this labyrinth? Oh, you jest. We have spent years here, in the dark, searching for a way to leave.
So many moons spent scraping every corner of this damned cage.
Yes. There were others, many others. But they were weak.
And we were hungry.
And thus, they became our food. Oh, those first few blood-soaked years. Oh, how I miss them.
So much to eat.
But eventually, our quarry ran dry. A true shame.
Now we rely on those that find themselves lost in this place for sustenance. An utterly pathetic existence for creatures of our stature. Or at least of mine.
Watch that long tongue of yours, Serpent. 'Cause I may just be tempted to scar that abomination you call a face.
You could try, and I could crush you in an embrace you wouldn't deserve, you legged swine.
What is it? Ah, yes. Finding us a way out of here. I'm doubtful that you'll be able to perform such a task. And with what time it might take, I fear my hunger would get the better of me before you could accomplish what you claim you can do.
I suppose you have a point. Your life does depend on it.
The rations are ours in exchange for your life. Watch your tongue, human. My kind has held nothing but contempt for your pathetic little race. So don't tempt me. Because if not, I will end this potential transaction of ours.
There are a few things this ilk and I can agree on, but our fervent hatred of humans, that is something that we can find common ground upon.
Fine. My hunger will remain unsated for now.
With every passing day, we grow weaker. Food has become scarce with so few venturing this deep into the wilderness.
Yeah, this little human is an adventurer. Maybe they can serve a purpose, one way or another. We either find our escape, or find ourselves in company of our next meal. And in all honesty, it doesn't really matter. At least not to me.
If you say so, Crores. But if this thing gets away, the fault will be upon your wiry little shoulders. Do you think you can handle that burden?
Enough with the threats, you cretin. Now, adventurer, do you have a name? Ah, what a strange thing to call you.
Vile humans, vile titles, all filth. You think you have any right to wish anything of us?
How amusing. The little worm thinks that we'd kill them. Oh, believe me, you sweet, stupid little thing. I would have had you uptight if it weren't for the off chance that you can find your way out of here.
That's if I didn't get to them first, crushed within my coils. Oh, that sweet sound of bones breaking before I devoured them. I bet this one, despite their meager physique, would have made for a boon to my hunger. An appetizer.
Disgusting. These serpents are all the same. No tack in handling the humans. Even if they are a meal, at least have some class.
I don't turn mine into mush before I eat them. Have you no fangs, cursed one?
For a venom you couldn't fathom, worm.
Oh, I know of venom.
Ah, the adventurer does have a point. Where should we keep them?
Keep? Suppose I'm not used to keeping prey alive.
Down here? Neither have I. But I suppose I can weave something to keep them from skittering around.
Even if they did, I would find them. Now that I have their scent, there's few places they could hide from me. Besides, even as I rest, I'm doubtful that they'd be able to escape my coils. They're such a small creature, after all. It'd be no trouble.
Really? You think that we'd allow you to rest upon that thing you call a place to rest? A bedroll. Doesn't matter. Such things aren't needed by your betters.
Perhaps they have yet another point there. No matter where they go, their scent will lead me right to them. And I already know that you've been spinning your meddlesome webs in my domain.
We're both trapped here, whether we like it or not. I have a hatred for you that cannot be put into any spoken word. But the webs in your territory? Your stalking of my lands? They can wait. For now.
Fair, fair. How fitting for a spider to cling on to its hope. We'll let the human rest between our dominions. No matter how far they run, no matter where they hide, one of us will be able to find them.
In perfect divide. But what if they do try to escape?
I think you know very well what to do. And I trust that you will split them cleanly down the middle if you're to find them before I do.
The one who finds them gets the king portion of their heart.
Is that a challenge?
Is it one that you're willing to accept?
You snide little thing. Fine, I accept.
Do you hear that, adventurer? You have an opportunity to make it fun for the both of us. Or perhaps we can let you live, if you get us out of this damned place.
A debt? Are you daft or mad, human?
Yeah, we can see if their words are all just that. Words. Or if they can actually amount to something. I can offer you a debt, human. But I will offer you my solemn promise that I will not turn your insides into mush if you lead us out of this place. Then?
Oh, fine. Then I too take that offer. What? You don't trust my words, human? Insolent little. All right. I too pledge that I shall not kill you if you find us a way out of here.
Then so it is done. Now, words have been exchanged and plenty of them. Shall we bring them to their new home?
Of course. The place we fought many times in the cracks between our dominions.
I'll take them.
Why is it you? I would surely have a bit of grip.
Because I don't trust you?
Oh, the feeling is so very mutual. But for now, I'll concede. Just this once. Let's be off.
You move too slow, human. That's why we'll be the ones taking you there. Besides, I'm afraid that little torch of yours will burn out before we reach the place you'll be staying. Until we're freed. Now, come along. And fear not. I won't bring harm to you.
How the weak quiver, even in your presence, spider.
They've ever right to fear me, then. Now, let's see if we can keep up.
You won't leave my sight. Neither of you.
And here we are.
The only place that neither of us has claimed.
Oh, it isn't dangerous. Just watch your step, human. The edges of this plateau are fatal if crossed.
We're too large to fight here anymore. So many conflicts that the walls above this chasm crumbled to the depths below.
Why is there so much gold here? Well, over the years, traveler and adventurer alike have met their end in this place. I have no use for gold, but that snake adores it.
The dragon's blood runs deep, even in us cursed as Naga. I hoard treasures from those I devoured. But even in an expanse such as this, there is only so much that can be had. Oh, how I crave the surface world, to once more feed upon the abundance that dwells there.
Yes, another thing that we can agree on. Freedom of this wretched hell of our own would bring me great joy, and perhaps even mercy for a human. Even if the thought of letting one of your kind live disgusts me. But I suppose that it's a fair exchange for leaving this place. You are not wrong, adventurer. I despise you and your kind, but I have a hatred for many others. So many others.
No one can hold a candle to Krura's hatred.
Know your hunger, then. Feel free to make your camp here. It matters not to me.
We will come find you here as the earth howls. The earth speaks its own tongue down here, human. A steady groan as the rocks grind and slash against each other. We don't know if it denotes a day. The sun has long since been a distant memory.
But we have decided that the rocks clashing with one another means that half a day has passed. It's crude, but viable given our circumstances. I was rarely exposed to the sun, but with the few times I have seen the light of day, I have a good idea of what the concept of light is. Well, to tell time in the Underdark, or time of day and night, as you surface dwellers so call it, the tides of luminescence given off by the fungal growth of the Darklands, and the luminescent properties of the minerals in the deep told us at the time.
We just use the sun. How typical of the Underdark to rely on such archaic methods.
We simply didn't need them.
No matter. Besides, the treasure.
I wouldn't ask him about that. He absolutely adores such pointless currency.
You and your kin still use coins in the Underdark, Scourge. Either way, adventurer, one thing that I must commend you on is your heart. So filled with bravery or foolishness. That is yet to be seen. Regardless, I cannot part with my treasures. Your life, is it truly worth some of my gold? That would alter our deal.
What? Ven? You can't give them even some? Are you too attached?
Of course I can.
Then, how about say this?
A chest of pure gold. Too much.
Then how much are you willing to part with?
Why must I part with something?
Because you're the only one between us that hoards like you do.
Fine. As much as you can carry in your pack then, adventurer. But that is all. Deal? Good. Don't test your luck any further. Otherwise Krura's words will not have any sway. And your heart will be mine.
Ours.
Ours. But I still get the greater portion for the sacrifice of my gold.
Oh, such a greedy creature.
Well, that is a strange question. What do you mean, what am I? What kind of species? How typical of your kind. Have you no brain in that head of yours?
I think they're truly confused.
That is preposterous. How does one not know what I am? Our kin are feared and fabled from coast to coast. Tales written of the Naga's reign since the dawn of the Fae.
What? You don't know what I am. Okay, now that's just rude.
Believe me now, Krura.
You know what? They might be from a different world, like we are.
A world where our kind does not exist. Must be dreadfully boring if that's the case. Tell me, human, what is the name of the forest you entered?
Or the name of the mountain pass you traveled.
That is a strange name. Krura, Is his name familiar to you?
Not in the slightest.
Not to me either. Wonderful. Another poor soul lost to this endless maze of tunnels from another distant land. And to think there was a chance of me escaping this damp cave.
Oh, and I didn't have my hopes up? And you call me selfish.
My point is, this human will be of no help to us if they aren't from either of our lands. Worse if our kind does not exist within their realm.
Could be beneficial if you think about it. Creatures of unknown bringing havoc to a new mysterious land. Sounds exciting to me.
Only you could ignore the dangers of such a thing. Where are we? Now that is a wonderful question. Sadly, no one here has an answer. What do I mean? Are you not listening, human? If neither of us have an answer, it's because we don't know. This place has more mysteries than most. People from all over fall under the maw of this place or come willingly seeking shelter, just to get lost within its endless maze of tunnels.
Even if this human doesn't come from either of our worlds, perhaps they can still be of use.
How?
A fresh perspective. And if worse comes to worse, and their efforts are proven futile, a fresh meal.
At least our little morsel here has incentive to find a way out.
That they do. Yes. We've mapped out a decent portion of the caves here, but they always prove to be useless. The expanse itself moves, and in no particular pattern.
An already inescapable labyrinth with moving walls and corridors. Magic is afoot here, or something of that nature. No, I haven't been able to discern the particular source of magic here. Nor can I put a name to what the nature of the magic is. Enchantment, illusion, perhaps transmutation. It matters not. I can only come to the conclusion that this school of magic is unfamiliar to me.
No, I cannot tell which magic this is either. Chaotic in nature, unpredictable, and long-lasting. Highly potent on top of it all. Whoever casts this spell here is powerful.
Immensely powerful indeed. The only other possibility is that this place we find ourselves in is inherently magical. For what purpose, I can't begin to comprehend. As far as we've seen, there is nothing down here. Nothing of note anyways.
What's down here? Well, if you consider rocks and the occasional underwater streams to be anything worthwhile, this place is a veritable gold mine. When I said that there's nothing here, there is genuinely nothing.
Well, there are some areas that remain constant. This place where you'll be staying, for example. Then there is my domain, in the chasm by the waterfall.
And mine, from the stream to the crystal caves. Crystals have no value to someone of my status. I'm beyond contemporary wealth, unlike the Serpent.
I just can't help myself, Kuras. It's in my blood to hoard wealth of all kinds. If they weren't my ticket out of here, I'd have this human all to myself.
Half. At best, then.
Fine. Half. But don't forget, I still get the king's portion of the heart.
That's if I get both of their eyes this time. The last one was senile and tasted like filth.
1.5. Do we have a deal?
Deal. Yeah, I know you're not dead yet. We're just preparing for the probable eventuality that you're not going to be able to find your way out of here.
There's little to do down here. Can you blame us for seeking entertainment in our little schemes?
It doesn't matter, Ven. Humans don't live long without food anyways, and it's best that we prepare to eat them the moment they start withering away. Be a waste of good meat otherwise.
Very few things we agree upon, but that's certainly one of them. Fear not, we've made a deal with you. If you get all of us out of here, you can carry as much gold as can fit in your pack from my own. And if you fail...
Well, if you fail, I'll kill you. And we'll still get something out of you being here. So, until you begin to dwindle, we won't harm you. To that end, you have my word. Yes? I suppose that occasionally creatures would make their way down here, but they always wind up in my webs. That's if they last long enough to wander at all.
If not Krura's traps, then my fangs find them. It all depends on whose domain our quarry is unfortunate enough to stumble upon. If something does arrive, you're at least somewhat of an adventurer, aren't you? Exploring is dangerous work, after all. Is that so? I suppose that you can stay with Krura.
What? Why me?
Because you're more attuned to handling commoners, being a lowborn yourself.
Why, you insolent little worm. Why don't you take the human, and we can be done with this?
I'm simply too busy. I'm sure you wouldn't understand, but even here in the nothingness, there's much that needs to be done.
Counting your coin again, Ven? Don't you tire of such a boring thing?
Nothing dull about taking stock of your wealth.
Do you not realize that still isn't a good enough reason? Right?
I can make time, I suppose. But how's about this? We take turns watching over the morsel. Once per rotation of the labyrinth.
A stellar idea. You go first.
Excuse me?
I mean, it's your idea. You starting things off. And consider it an act of good faith.
Oh, but I've got coins to count.
To hell with your trinkets, Ven. Just take over for this rotation and I'll handle the next. And don't you dare eat them.
Fine. We shall meet at the rumbling of the next shift.
Until then, Ven.
Until then, Krura. Now come along, my little morsel. We make way for my lands. I'm sure you must be famished by now.